Hi guys, Tugger here with a new video, and we have good news and probably also bad news. Guardians of the Dream, which is 10.2, will arrive November 7th, which means that the season 3, excuse me, will start a week after it. Like every single season, it's always going to start like this. Always 1 week of just 10.2, the patch, and then you have like the next week, which is basically the start of the season. So everything will be about the rated, about the Mythic Plus keystones and the progression, but also raids, I think, also open from that point. So it means that you are ready to actually catch up with catch-up gear, for example, or going for world quests or campaign or whatever you're like searching or going for. For example, honor gear if you're like doing PvP. Like for example, myself, I'm already capped with honor, so basically I will be buying the honor gear directly. Probably going to make a video on how to catch up really quickly, blah blah blah. But this is a good news since we do have a date, which is a good thing. The bad news is it's always very sad that you have to basically wait 1 to 3 weeks to get the season actually like 10.2 start, which is then 4 weeks if you're thinking about the season start. It is a very long time in the gaming industry, just in general. I think 1 month waiting feels eternity, especially with FOMO kicking in, and then again the US has Thanksgiving on that date, and I would prefer that the start date would have been around the I don't know, the 13th, the 13th, the 1st of October or the 1st of November, and then have the season actually start at November 7th. That would have been the good way to do. Again, this is like explicit. It's going to start November 7th regardless, and November 14th we have the season start with a new raid, new PvP season. Basically, we also would have the new PvP Brawl, Battleground Blitz. Unfortunately, I don't know why they're not putting it on November 7th, so you could actually farm Honor and Conquest. I think Conquest you cannot farm it for 1 week if I'm not mistaken, but anyways, like a way to actually gather like items so you can actually be ready for the real season. But that's my take. It's really annoying, and I feel like again the worst parts of World of Warcraft is whenever something is announced, it's very dead until the actual thing that is announced is going to come out. Every single end of season is really just a waiting time kind of thing. There is nothing to go for except if you're like really trying to push Glad and you are like very close of it. But if you're super far from it, like there is no actual way you can actually do that, but there's no real way to actually get to that point except if you are very experienced and you are like taking a hiatus and you came back at the end of the season. That's possible. But someone that is like a rival or rival 2 or duelist level player, he is not going to push for Glad out of the blue. They would have already pushed way before because they were playing. So I feel like it's tough. I would have preferred it was before. Now the issue, we have BlizzCon. I think BlizzCon is the 4th of November, so they do not really want it to fall in the week of BlizzCon, which is really sad. But I do understand it from a business point of view. They want to have the hype from BlizzCon that is actually going to carry 10.2, and hopefully they have announcement for another expansion or another patch or whatever, and the same for Classic. It is just unfortunate that we are in this current day and age where end of seasons for every single game. I'm not also talking about Call of Duty. I'm also talking about League of Legends, like pre-season, like whenever you're like looking at the new things coming out for League of Legends, you don't really want to play with the ancient and with the old toys that you have. The same for class changes. If you are like looking forward to a rework, for example, Demon Hunters, it's very hard to actually enjoy playing Demon Hunters right now because you know that in 1 month time it will be changed. So I would have preferred that it would be a bit closer to right now, because it does feel that the game is suffering a bit from it. Now I do play now a bit more retail because I want to prepare myself for 10.2 with other characters, or with, let's say, training myself on certain classes because I want to maybe main a new class that I didn't play before. But outside of that, I mean, everyone that is actually already, they know what they are going to do, they already farmed, or they already did everything they had to do. Basically, this is like a month of vacation. Is it a good thing to have that in game? I guess it's good for many people that are like in FOMO, or like fear of missing out, basically, if you don't know what FOMO is. And it just is a good thing for them. I do feel like for the majority of players that are actually playing day to day, it's really not that great to have a point where your effort or your time that you're going to spend right now is not going to do anything for like 10.2. That's the problem we have with current World of Warcraft, which I think with classic expansions you didn't really have that. I think in general, if you're playing on classic and you are playing Molten Core, for example, and you know that BWL is going to come out in 1 month, well, I mean, MC gear is still relevant even in the BWL, right? Or PvP gearing, it's still relevant because, again, PvP gearing is very linear. It's not a good thing, but it's still there, right? You're not going to halt for 1 month because the next patch is going to come out. But in retail, if you're doing raids right now and you want to actually gear up for 10.2, why would you do that? Because there is like a lot of catch-up mechanics that are going to basically give you the previous raid tier for free. So why would you actually go out of your way to farm that tier to get the gear? Gear is like meaningless by that point. The same for PvP, really. Conquest and Honor, I guess, we are like at a point where we don't really want to have gear matter, although I'm like a fervent defender of having gear matter a bit, because it is MMORPG, and I know that competitively I would like to have an even playing field, but not everyone is like this. And I think I am a vocal minority in saying that we do not want gear to matter in PvP. But it is like you think you do, but you don't kind of situation. I think most of people need the carrot on the stick. They need to have gear matter because then they are like more motivated to play. But for those people, why would you actually play PvP on a tune to actually get the gear, like Conquest gear for 10.2? Because it's, again, going to be overwritten by the Honor gear that is going to come out. Like, for example, from Season 1 to Season 2, we have the Honor gear actually overwriting the Conquest gear from Season 1. If you don't remember, Season 1, you had 424 Conquest eye level, right? So 424 was the end game eye level for Conquest. Since there is no leveling up anymore in PvP for the gear, basically your Conquest gear is your end game gear. The Season 2 hit and we got a 437 eye level, if I'm not mistaken, or 438, I don't remember. That was the eye level from Honor gear from the start. So if you had 15k Honor, basically you overwrite the gear from Conquest from Season 1. So basically saying, look, what you actually achieved on Season 1, gearing wise at least, it is not really mattering, right? And that is also the same for raids, I think, and it is the same for Mythic Plus, pretty much. So again, we are in a game where it's very seasonal. Every season actually just plays like a mini expansion pretty much, and every release of a new patch kind of overrides the efforts that you have done from previous tiers. Is it a good thing? I think it's a bad thing, personally, as a player that would play every single day, because it is a hobby, because it's a passion that I already have since very little. But for the people that are not playing day to day and they're like, this season I didn't really play because I didn't feel like it. There was Baldur's Gate, there was other games that were coming out. I wasn't really playing, and now I'm coming back and I directly get better gear than previous year, so I'm feeling good. For those players, it's a very good thing, but I think, again, we need to have more stats and numbers from people that are actually still keeping on playing, and the people that are actually returning from seasons that they didn't play, or seasons that they actually abandoned mid-season, for example. And that, unfortunately, we don't really have any stats for it. But I really do sincerely think that gearing to a certain extent should matter from tier to tier and not really have like, look, you played season 2, doesn't matter what you did on season 2 except your achievements or except your, if you went for glad, that's perfect, right? But most people are not going for glad. That gear or soul shuffle legend or whatever, that gear is irrelevant for season 3. And I'm talking like someone that didn't really play too much season 2. I'm going to be honest, season 2 was probably 50% of my gaming time compared to season 1, and I think the duration were quite the same. I didn't really like the problems that they had built upon, because it's not just a problem, but it has been built upon on season 2. I didn't really like that, so I didn't really play too much. There were also a lot of other games that were actually available, or for example classic or hardcore or whatever. I didn't really play too much because I wasn't really that hyped, and a lot of people actually just played way less because of season 2. So for me, it would have been a benefit to be in season 3 and gain that gear that actually just overrides season 2. But again, I'm someone, basically I don't quit until I have like the best gear possible. At least I have done something. I've put money on the table for the game, so at least I have done something to, I would say, look, I played season 2. Same for some achievements, like for example, like ranks that I achieve. I would like to push for legends on a spec at least, to have that on my name again, like season 1. But again, the queue times and the people are not active, and personally I don't know if I value too much season 2 anyways, so I don't know if I want to push like just in general. I do like my gaming time and my amounts of rounds played and my games played on season 2 is drastically lower towards compared to season 1. So again, I don't even blame like myself. Like I know that if I played more, I would achieve more, but I didn't really feel like I wanted to achieve more on season 2. But season 3, again, I think season 3 will be fantastic. I think 10.2 will be fantastic. I do look forward to it. I do have a lot of copium and a lot of hopium. I don't know if it's going to be justified. I don't know if it's going to be rewarded by the game, but I do feel like everything I've seen currently for 10.2, I'm actually very hyped. There's a lot of things that they should maybe work on, like in general for 10.2, but I do feel like it's going to be a fresh breath of air for the expansion. The only problem is we have BlizzCon the 4th, and we will have probably a expansion trailer or teaser or whatever, with probably a date or like a 31st of December like deadline or whatever, and then it will be announced that it will be like summer, which is good, probably a good day to have a new expansion. But the issue is, whenever you're announcing something, it does make the current product a lot less relevant, and that's something I already like discussed multiple times. But like you have some same problems for Call of Duty. Whenever you're announcing Modern Warfare 3, it's very hard to actually be keeping on playing Modern Warfare 2, especially since they also announced a few special features that are way better than the current game, and they would do the same for Dragonflight. They're going to explain, we have this, we have that, and we are going to build up on this, and it's going to be better and better and better. And then you're going to look at the current product, you're going to say, but why the hell am I playing this current product? I want to play the next product. And that's something that is going to kill the hype like instantly. I don't know if there will be a lot of players for 10.2. I will be playing. I know I will be playing a lot because of Battleground Blitz. It's something that I really asked like since ages ago, like a solo QRPG environment. I would be like a hypocrite for not playing it. Except if they have like crazy queue times, then I'm going to be hands off on it. But if they have like respectable queue times, I would say lower than solo shuffle, I'll be playing. So now we will have to see what is going to be the ripple effect from BlizzCon, if it's going to be hyping the game more, or if it's going to basically going to destroy what could have been a good patch. But we'll have to see. Again, if you have watched the whole video until now, we are going to make a lot of PTR videos, so please subscribe to the channel so you can actually like see a lot of those previews I'm going to make for specs and also for classes and for different situations in the game for 10.2. Again, thank you for watching and be sure to stay safe. We will catch each other probably very soon in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.